Happy New Year to you guys all out there. It was a pretty quiet New Year's Eve for me. My wife and I watched a couple movies. I watched both of them. She fell asleep during the second one. We watched the new Indiana Jones movie, or the latest Indiana Jones movie. I guess it's not new now. I liked it. It was kind of a nice way of tying things up with Indy. And before that, we watched, oh yes, the latest Spider-Man movie. The cartoon Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse or something like that. That was really good. Enjoyed that. We also did some laundry, and we ate some appetizers like potato skins and matzo sticks and lemon chicken and that sort of stuff. My daughter went out, had a friend up from Halifax, and they enjoyed a night out. And then her friends all came back here after, and then Ari was out with his girlfriend. So yeah, I think everybody enjoyed themselves. Hopefully, you guys had a safe time too, wherever you were for New Year's Eve. 2024 hopefully is getting off on the right foot for most of you. I know some people I've heard from have been sick, so hopefully you'll get better and get back on the right foot. It's kind of that time of year though where the temperature goes up and down and people just seem to get sick. What else is going on here? It's been busy at work again. I started back to work on Tuesday. Monday was the holiday with New Year's. And then started back yesterday. We did put out a video on stamps on Monday, and then I took yesterday off to get caught up on all my correspondence. I had 23 direct swaps to do, so I just sat down after work and put on some music and enjoyed writing postcards and did all that. Didn't worry about getting a video out for YouTube, even though it was on my mind early on. I was like, what should I talk about today? Should I go about this or that? But didn't do any of that. Snail Mail with Smokey and I did have a discussion for our next stamp versus stamp. So that's going to be exciting. We're looking at getting that out, put together, and have that out for you this month. So look forward to that. If you guys are into stamps, hopefully you are. And I put out a video on Monday about the Golden Jubilee Queen Victoria stamps. I am doing a stamp of the month video, and so I put that one out, and there'll be a follow-up one too. I am teaming up once again with Liverpool Stamps, so I'm pretty happy about that. They're giving my viewers a discount if you go and buy stamps each month from them. This month's discount is going to be 25% off the Golden Jubilees of Queen Victoria and King Edward VII. So those are the stamps that came out between 1887 and 1902 to 1910, that kind of range. And if you're not sure what those stamps are, go check out the video. There's some really beautiful stamps. So if you put in the code TDGJAN, you're going to get 25% off those stamps through Liverpool Stamps. Not that I'm turning this live into an ad, but I just wanted people to be aware of it. What else? Oh yes, I could take you. Well, I'll wait a minute. I'll let a few more people come on, and then I'll take you outside just so you can see what our kind of weather conditions are like here in Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada, on the 3rd of January. It's not very typical. I can tell you we had a green Christmas. We did have some flurries and a bit of snow around New Year's. And we'll leave it at that for right now, and then we'll go outside and see. We'll also wait on the weather report because I know everybody likes to chime in about what the weather is in their countries, so we'll do that. I see that there's one person on and one person liking, so that's good. We're getting a good ratio there of people that are watching and people that are liking at the same time. Hopefully some more people will join on. I think it's starting to become clear that Wednesdays is going to be my live day, and I usually go live based on what I've been doing the last few weeks at 2 o'clock Atlantic Standard Time. So that works out well. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to take another break from putting out videos. So I'm going to ease into this week. One on Monday, a live on Wednesday, and then back to Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now, Saturday is, of course, a live as well. It's That Dad Guy Answers part 100. So we're there. I've had one response so far arrive in my mailbox for the question that went out in December. So I'm hoping a few more will come in so we can talk about that. We probably also will talk about where we want to go with that Dad Guy Answers. Whether it's something we want to have every week, if people are getting tired of that. Maybe they're just tired of the format, the way it has been. Or maybe that monthly question that I've been doing should be a bi-monthly question. That was talked about in one of the last lives that we did. Because then some people don't want to send in an answer and it not arrive in time. They'd rather not send something in than to have something sent in and arrive late. So if I gave people 2 months, then pretty much anybody should be able to get me within 2 months unless there's a hiccup in the postal system somewhere, which does happen. So yeah, if you're watching and you want to chime in on that question, go for it. I know this isn't really a question and answer video, but we do have some back and forth between those people that are on and myself. So yeah, what's your thought on that Dad Guy Answers? Do we want to go continue with the same format? Do we want that to be alive? I mean, that was a discussion too, whether or not it should go back to being people just asking questions one week and then me responding to them the next week. Because you tend to get the same people join the live from week to week, so far anyways. And I get different people ask questions that maybe wouldn't normally be on in the lives. I don't know, all something to talk about and think about. I'm not sure what extra special thing I'll do for the 100th. It's quite a big milestone to make it that far. Really, the magic number would be 104 because then it's every week for 2 years that I've been doing it. So I've answered a lot of questions, put out a lot of videos, and it's lasted a long time. So, yeah. I could walk you around. You guys can see the tree again. We haven't undecorated yet. It isn't our thing to do. If you look up behind me, I've got my That Dad Guy sign up there. I do have an empty space over in that corner. And I did get a new picture for Christmas too. So it might go in that. Let me show you that as well. You can see the Christmas tree is still up, but it will be coming down. We are going to start the undecorating process here soon. Let me just put you down here for a minute. Put you there, and I want to show you a new picture that I got. So my in-laws gave me this. Getting quite a reflection there. That's better. So here's the original artwork, and the artwork was created into a stamp. Now this is a Canadian stamp. I wasn't quite sure on what it was. It has a value of $8.50. If you look it up in the regular Scott catalogs, you won't find it in there. But what it is, it's a stamp that was created for the Fish and Wildlife Society. So if you were getting your fishing and hunting license, this is a stamp that would have been on it at the time. I think, I can't remember right off the bat. I think it's 2003 that this came out. But you probably can look it up and see. So the original art to match the stamp, I thought that was kind of a cool idea. So I thank them for that. And that may be the that might be the thing that would fit into that spot in my office. Otherwise, I'm not sure where it's going to go. But that's kind of where I'm looking. Or if I have to reorganize some things, I will do that too. All right, for those of you who have joined, we're 10 minutes in. Let's kind of do our weather thing. I'm going to go outside, show you what it looks like. And we'll flip the camera around. As you can see, there is some white stuff on the ground. A little bit of snow, not much. We still have green grass poking out. It snowed, like I said, just before New Year's and kind of stuck around. It was minus 10, I think, with the wind chill yesterday, maybe even minus 17 when I was delivering in the morning. It is around 0, -1 today. But there's a little nest. Been there for a while. Nobody at home right now. You can see there's more snow down this side of the house where it's not getting as much direct sun. And you can see through the neighborhood, everybody's got a little bit, but not really a lot for this time of year. If I see the snow that people are getting in Finland, they've got a lot more than us. They're also getting a lot colder temperatures. Let's turn this back around. And we'll go back in. You can see so far I have my winter beard going. Whether I will keep it throughout the winter, probably not. I will most likely shave it, but I tend to like to get a little bit of extra warmth when I'm outside delivering in the wintertime. But if it's not going to be very winter-like, then I probably will end up shaving it. I can show you the back too. Why not? Let's do the backyard as well. So there you can see. Now, I'm not sure why there's this rectangle that does not have any snow on it. It's not like something was there before. It's just the way, I guess, the sun comes and what's kind of squared off. But you can see there's some snow around the fire pit. Like over here, there's still some snow over there by the garden box. Swing around. All right, who's on? People say hello. Or this will get very finished very quickly. It's nice to have weekly chats, but we need to have some people to chat with, don't we? I did do some Lego over the tail end of my holidays. I had a couple small Lego sets that I put together. Had a motorcycle one I put together, and I had a Vespa that I put together. Not very big sets, but a couple little ones. I do have some more that I'm going to start working on. I've decided not to necessarily make them YouTube videos when I do it anymore. I was feeling, and with the great advice from my wife, I was saving everything for content. And it was taking the fun out of the hobby. Because I was making things because I had to make them versus making things to enjoy making them. So I've kind of gone back into just working on the Lego sets when I have the time and feel like doing them, and then maybe post a few pictures up on Instagram when they're complete, rather than me doing speed builds and things like that. I'm not to say that I won't in the future at some point, but right now that's my plan. I'm gonna take kind of Lego out of my YouTube world. I'll talk about it, but not have it all the time. Oh, Media says it is minus 19 right now in Helsinki. So yeah, you've got me beat where I think it's 0 or -1 here right now. So yeah, that's what I thought about the Lego side of it, is that I'm not really a Lego channel. I do have Lego, and I do say that I like Lego, and I'll post some on Instagram and stuff. But if you look at my video collections that I put out, most of my stuff is either stamp or post-crossing related. Or festivals and things like that too, I suppose. But yeah. I'll also show you when I get some cool sets and things. That's kind of the plan. But keep the Lego for just enjoying to relax. And that's what I've needed to do lately. I've been having a hard, I don't know why, but I've been having a hard time sleeping and getting a good night's sleep. I'll wake up several times just because I'm waking up. And so when it's time to get up and go in the morning, I'm exhausted. But I'm not sure why that's happening right now. There must be something in my brain going on, something I'm thinking about that's not letting me settle down. Media posted some really cool pictures of a light festival she was at. So thank you for posting those, giving us a chance to see what's going on. Who else is on? I see there's other people on. Are you watching on your television and can't type? So I have about a week left with my daughter here, and then she's returning to university. So her winter break is almost finished. She's had a really nice long winter break, and we've been glad to have her home. She's had things like her wisdom teeth all taken out while she's been home, so that's been fun. She's all healed up from that. We've done a little bit of baking together. We had one day where we did a bunch of different things. The only problem with that, now I was going to do a whole bunch of these recipes that people sent in, but I couldn't do that because she had her wisdom teeth taken out. She couldn't eat the sweets. So we made a whole bunch of cookies and things at the time, and we had a hard time getting through them all. Now they've finally all been consumed with friends and family that have come over and given things away. So we're ready to do something else again soon. So I do have supplies for some of the other cookie recipes or square recipes that people sent in, so I may try another one again. Media wants to know if I would walk for an hour in this cold weather. Her fingers are almost frozen as she took photos without gloves on. Would it be ideal? No, but you've had some fun things to go do and see during that hour with the Light Festival. I really would like to see the Light Festival, so if it meant being outside in minus 19 degrees, I probably would dress accordingly and do it, that's for sure. But I think like anyone, if you're in these climates, Canada, Finland, Sweden, wherever that we have nice cold climates in the wintertime, we just dress in layers. You have your shirts and your sweaters and your jackets and your scarves and your hats and your gloves, and then it's not really as cold. Yes, if it's windy, you get a cold nose, or your eyelashes freeze and all the fun things that go with that. But dress accordingly and everything works out. But taking pictures, yeah, you kind of need to take your gloves off, at least for a short period of time, to hit the button to take the picture. So thank you for taking them and getting frozen. You'll have to find a nice warm hot chocolate now and a pastry. It's not sauna day, so you'll have to find other ways to warm back up again. What else was I talking about before that? I'm easily distracted, as you can see. This has turned out to be kind of my sit-down spot. You can see some of the Christmas decorations that are back there. You got Rudolph and the workshop. So those things will all come out. There's stuffed animals up top that are also Christmassy. They will all be put away here in the next little while. By the end of the weekend, everything will be cleaned back up again. And then we'll look to see what is next to happen. I know Valentine's Day is just over a month away, 5 weeks or so, which also happens to be my wife's birthday, so we celebrate that at the time. My next vacation time isn't until the end of the month. Now I do have a day I think I've got to take coming up to help with my mother's appointments. I have to confirm that. So there may be a day I'll have to take off work to take care of that. And the folks are doing okay. We'll still see how my mother's arm is healing. That's the appointments that we have to do. Did have a nice time over Christmas. Saw them on Christmas. My sister came down with her family, and we all got together with them just before New Year's. And my cousins came over and visited with them as well too. And they've received some phone calls from family around the globe, so they've been very happy with all that. And I noticed the place where they were living for New Year's Day, they were given lobster rolls for their meal, so that was kind of nice. I would have liked to have had lobster rolls. My daughter and I had appetizers yesterday for lunch that were crab and cream cheese and a phyllo pastry. They were really good. This is when I see my beard up close that it's like, well, I probably should trim it a little bit. When these hairs cover my lips too much, I don't like it. Media says, I just thought a cup of tea is needed now, and cranberry caramel pastry. Did I get any nice postcards for Christmas gifts? I got some letter sets and a few stamps. No cards. No, actually, I didn't get any postcards for Christmas present. Now, I don't really need any more postcards at this time. People have been very generous sending cards to me throughout the year, and so I've built up a pretty good collection of blank postcards now to send to people. The only thing I got for Christmas that was postcard related, my in-laws gave me some washi tape and some stickers, so I have some more things to decorate with. I did go out and treat myself to a couple storage bins to put my postcards in that were coming in, so that was kind of my post-crossing stuff that I did for Christmas. Even stamps, I haven't gotten anything new. I'm still waiting on the year-end first day cover set to come in. And I'll do a video on that when it does. I'm not going to show you the year-end album that came out yet because I've been doing those in chronological order, so I'm not up to 2023 yet. In the future, you'll get to see it when we get there. Well, it's showing a few more people are on now. Mitty is the only one who's either brave enough or has the ability to type and watch at the same time right now. Kind of surprised by that because there were some people that I was in communication with just before going live. I have some postcards that came in, so I let people know if I have them on Instagram that their postcards have arrived. So I thought maybe they would pop on and say hello. Oh, funny thing, 2 days in a row, I have a P.O. box, as you guys well know. I also do get mail to my own letterbox here. And the last 2 days, I have gotten mail that should have went to my P.O. box, come right to my home address. So someone just said, oh, well, that's his mail, so he's going to get it. So I've been getting all these postcards that should have went to my P.O. box, show right up at my home address. So I have 3 of those that arrived today that I have to go and register after our live is finished. One of them is from Romania, so that's kind of cool. There's a beautiful big stamp, so I'll look forward to showing you guys that on Friday. And then I think the other 2 both were from Germany. One of them was very hard to read in that the gentleman either didn't press hard enough with his pen, so the ink is very faded. I'm not sure how else it would be that way unless he did that almost not on purpose, but as he wrote his card, didn't realize how faded it was. Yesterday I did 23 postcards. It took, how long did it take? Took about 4.5 hours on and off to get them all done. It's kind of nice. I was catching up for 2 weeks worth of direct swaps because I did take a little bit of a break in between where I didn't do any direct swap returns during my holidays just because I knew that the post office for most of the days were closed anyway, so there was a very small window to get them mailed out. All right, I guess I'm continuing to talk. No one else is saying hello or anything on. Very strange. I know it's kind of work time too. People are at work or sitting down to have supper. It's kind of the in-between. There's not much else going on. Some people might be having lunch right now, which I guess could be on that break. Did you guys watch Stamp of the Month that came out? You guys collectors of Victorian era stamps? One of my favorite eras for the stamps that came out at that time frame. Yes, you see the stamps that come out now. They're beautiful colored. They're all different shapes. They're vibrant images, just like a photograph. But back in the Victorian era stamps, when they came out, the images were all like miniature paintings almost. So the detail with one color or maybe two with shading type of things is amazing. It's like if you saw someone with an etching. That's the way the stamps were. So I really like that era. Media says here it'll be time to sleep soon in an hour and a half or so for her. She's got a couple more postcards that she can write, so good for you. Get those cards done. It's kind of nice that way, the way you guys can, the way you're doing it anyways, is that as they become available each day, you're only writing a couple cards. Where I kind of save them up and I'll do them all on Sunday, so it almost takes me a full day just to get caught up on everything sometimes. And of course, the longer you go in post-crossing, the more slots you have available. So for people that have 100 slots, I don't know how they do it. Well, one, they probably aren't sending all their slots full most of the time. There seems to be a point, I don't know if it's early on or later, I guess it depends on how many direct swaps you do, that you have to think, am I doing post-crossing now, or am I just pen paling with people? And I know there are some people I've talked to recently that are slowing down with post-crossing because they've got a whole bunch of pen pals that they've developed through post-crossing originally, but it's just become so expensive. So you don't want to forget about your friends and not write them, but you also don't want to stop post-crossing because that's kind of what got you all into it. I'd love to hear other people's take on it, what their thoughts are, whether they limit the amount of people that they have continuous contact with, and don't have as many pen pals, or whether they're limiting the number of cards that they send for post-crossing. Is there a max number that you feel that you can send and still keep it manageable? I'm up to 20 cards now I can send through post-crossing. And of course, most of mine are going internationally. They're going to European countries or going to China or wherever. So it's costing me the maximum amount to send cards out. So at 20 cards at $2.71 a card for an international stamp, it gets pretty pricey. And I've been blessed to have a good amount of direct swaps on the regular. And I don't want to forget about my friends, so we write to them too. So how are you guys managing with it? Do you cap out how many post-crossing cards you send a week or a month? Do you only direct swap with people once a month or occasionally? How do you do it? It is a real dilemma for people that need to have some sort of a fixed budget. If money's no issue, then it's not a problem. You can post-cross and you can direct swap all you want. I know Caroline in France, she's got 100 slots that she can send for post-crossing, and she doesn't do direct swaps very much. So I guess that's how she limits what she sends. I wouldn't want to miss out on the opportunity. I'm glad with Facebook I have people, not Facebook, excuse me, with YouTube, I have people that want to be in contact with me. I'm happy about that. I always feel, and people say, oh, don't feel obligated to respond, but I still do. Because someone's taken the time to send me a letter, if I have their address, I kind of want to write them back to make sure that they they know it meant something to send it to me. And I know a lot of other people that get YouTube correspondence in, maybe we'll do a mention on a video rather than respond in kind. I don't know. If I continue to be financially able to, I want to be able to respond to people if they've been generous enough to send me a card. Amelia says, some of my long-term pen pals have stopped writing during the pandemic, so I'm pleased to have a few new ones. Last month, she sent 34 official postcards. And the stamps are so expensive. Yeah, I get it. You have been a fantastic person for writing me on the regular, and I'm sure it must be getting very expensive to do it. So I do appreciate everyone you send. And so I'm trying to send back in kind to my pen pals. I did at one point get to the point where if I've gotten several from the same person, so maybe if I use you as an example, if a whole bunch of your mail all shows up in the same week, I know you've sent it during different periods of time. If I get, say, 3 of cards from you all in 1 week, my response is to send one back. So I know you've sent more than I've sent you in return, but that's just how I'm trying to keep it within my budget. So I do that for anyone. So if I get multiple from the same person, I'm just responding to one back in that time frame. Now I did find a bit of a loophole at Christmas time, which I was very pleased with. So those of you who have received from the said loophole, it didn't cost me anything to team up with Santa during the holidays. We did a collab. I reached out to him, and he was in favor of us doing a collaboration, and so I got to save on postage and postcards a bit during the Christmas break. So that was good. I'm hoping that I can do said collaboration again next year. And those people that have received the things that I'm talking about seem to be pleased with it, so I'm happy. That was the intent, was to try to bring some smiles to people's faces during the holidays and around just after the holidays too, because sometimes that's the hardest time for people. You kind of think about the people that normally you'd be celebrating with that maybe aren't around anymore. Well, this live has been Mehdi and I talking back and forth. No one else has joined. I may not run this, I may not continue this one much longer. I usually run them longer if there's a lot of discussions going on, but if there's no discussions, it's nice just to say, hey, how you doing? So the rest of my plan, well, Media says Canadian Santa sent a letter to her. Well, I'm sure you made a very positive impression on Santa, so worthwhile. Yeah, the points of these live on Wednesdays are just to get together, say hello to whoever happens to be out there who's available to chit-chat. The more people that are chatting, the longer these discussions go, and we talk about a variety of topics because everybody chimes in with what they want to talk about, what's important to them. So that's kind of fun about it. A little bit of organized chaos for 30 minutes to an hour. We also talk about the temperatures in our regions. Mehdi and I have already done that today. So we know what it's like in Helsinki and in Moncton right now. Oh, World Junior. Go Finland. Right now, the only teams that are left are Finland, Sweden, the United States, and Czechia. So good luck to those four nations as they strive to see who will be the next junior world champions. Canada got bounced by Czechia, so their run of gold medals has come to an end this year. It still stings a little bit. I got home from work, and that's how I found out that they didn't make it. Lost 3-2. I was all excited because media sent me a message saying that Finland had advanced. And so I was like, oh, that's great. They've come back because they started the tournament off poorly, losing to Canada and then losing to Germany. Didn't look good, and now they've come back and now are in contention again. No, unfortunately, Finland isn't the favorite against Team USA. That doesn't mean you can't win, though. Doesn't at all. I know going into the tournament, all the analysts were saying that it was either going to be Team USA or Team Sweden that was going to win the gold this year. So even Canada, as we'd won 2 in a row, we weren't one of the favorites to win. But anything is possible in hockey. It just takes one good day and things can switch around. So that's happening in the sporting world. I watch basketball, of course. My New York Knicks made a big trade recently, got rid of a couple players I really liked, and sent them to the Toronto Raptors. I think the Toronto Raptors got the better end of the deal. Not to say that what the Knicks got in return wasn't bad, but I think we paid a lot for what we got. So good on the Toronto Raptors. And both teams, when they got their new players, both won their games. So it worked out for both of them. In baseball, my New York Yankees haven't done a lot this offseason. So I'll be curious to see what happens. Now, they did add a big outfield name. But I think we need pitching. Hitting hasn't been our problem of late. It's been pitching. So hopefully we'll get some pitchers in that'll help. That's my baseball rant right now. We've talked hockey, we've talked baseball, we've talked basketball, football. I cheer for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They've had another winning season, but they may not make the playoffs. They have one game left, and it all depends on other teams losing it for them to get in too. So not looking good for my Pittsburgh Steelers football team. And as far as other sports, I don't really have a soccer or football team. My father's from Chelsea. He always cheers for Chelsea in the Premier League. So if I'm watching something, I usually watch to see how Chelsea has done. And then when it comes to the Olympics, that's kind of when you jump back on board with your country and cheer them on in whatever sport happens to be taking place. Watch a lot of different sports that I wouldn't normally watch in the run of a regular year, but will watch them during Olympic year because national pride is on the line. So we have the Paris 2024 Summer Olympics happening this year. It's an Olympic year. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. And at this point, I'm not even sure who the front runners in which sport are. All right. Well, I think I've run out of topics without boring you to death right now. So I'm going to say goodbye on this live. Hopefully more people can tune in next time. I'm going to go register a few postcards and see what else I need to do. All right, you guys, have a magical week.